What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, Episode 12, Lady Drama Mamas. So we start off the next morning or the morning after the big fiasco at the restaurant where Teresa had shoved everything on the table all over Margaret. So the next morning, everybody's getting up, they're gathering in the kitchen, they're fixing breakfast, and they're talking about what happened the night before. And not shockingly, not surprisingly at all, Jennifer is 100% basically on Teresa's side. And she says that Teresa was provoked by Margaret because Margaret had called Teresa a liar. And she told Margaret, Jennifer did, she says, well, you called her a liar. And Margaret was like, because she was lying. She was accusing me of doing something that I wasn't doing. She was saying that I was going to Louis' past exes or whatever and getting information from them. And I wasn't even doing that. So she very much was lying. So after all of that, and I think it was only really Jennifer that was on the side of Teresa. It was only Jennifer that it made total sense for Teresa to act like a wild animal after being provoked by Margaret, because everybody else was saying that, you know what she did was wrong. It was out of her character, and hopefully we don't have a repeat of that. So Margaret says that the one thing that she's not going to do, she's not going to tiptoe around Teresa, because everybody is so concerned about how Teresa's going to act, how Teresa feels, what Teresa's going to say, what kind of day are we going to have, depending on what kind of mood Teresa is in. And I'm looking at these people and I'm just thinking to myself, how old are you guys? Are you people in your 40s and 50s, or all of y'all like 12? Because who cares how she feels or what she thinks or what she says? How does it have any bearing on what you need to do for the day or what you need to do for yourself? I just don't understand. And you know who has it the worst, even though she kind of wants to act like, she's free of Teresa, or that she doesn't always follow Teresa's way, is Melissa. Melissa kind of has it really bad, this whole thing of, oh my God, y'all, let's see how Teresa's going to be like today. Oh my God, y'all, let's see what Teresa says today. Melissa has it really bad, I feel like. Margaret is the one that really could care less. Jackie really could care less. Stacy doesn't care. It's only like Melissa, Dolores, and Jennifer who are so worried about, oh my God, what is Teresa gonna, what kind of Teresa are we gonna have today? So today's gonna be a fun day. The boys are gonna go out on the boat. The girls are gonna go to a Nashville music studio and record a song and get that whole Nashville experience of song recording. So while they're all doing that, Dolores opts out of doing the song recording because Teresa has spent the night in a hotel the night before. She didn't want to come back to the Airbnb. And side note, when she decided not to come back to the Airbnb, Margaret expeditiously took over her master bedroom. So Dolores calls Teresa and says, hey, I don't feel like recording a song. How about me and you hang out? And I wonder if Jennifer felt like, Dolores beat her to the punch. Like, I wonder if Jennifer regretted not calling Teresa first and asking to do something with Teresa, because between Dolores and Jennifer, you would think that Jennifer would be the one to hightail it out of there to go join Teresa. So Dolores meets up with Teresa at some clothing store. They're trying on cowboy boots and hats. And Dolores is trying to reason with Teresa, trying to let her know, hey, we're getting too old to act like this. We need to learn how to control ourselves. And I liked how Dolores used herself as an example, because we know that Dolores has a temper as well. And so I liked how she used her own experience to explain to Teresa, hey, I've been there. I know exactly how you feel, when that rage begins to erupt in you. And she tells Teresa, but you can always tell when you get to that point, when that anger gets to that almost to that boiling point. You can always tell when that's about to happen. And that's when you need to learn how to reel it back in. And so Teresa was like, yeah, I understand. But when someone comes and attacks my family, Teresa, there's no but to it. You just have to do it. You just have to learn how to do it. You have to learn how to control yourself. Whether they're talking about Louis, whether they're talking about your girls, whether they're talking about your parents, you have to learn how to control yourself. And yes, it's hard. Of course it's hard. It's so much easier just to let the anger override and just act completely berserk. But then the next day, when the dust has settled, you're backpedaling and you're two-stepping and you're trying to offer all of these apologies to everybody. And who the hell wants to do that? It's better just to remain calm and either walk away or try to have a reasonable discussion. To me, that just seems to be, I don't know, maybe I'm the one that's crazy. To me, that just makes more sense, to kind of have control of yourself, control of your senses, so you don't have to do the big old apology thing the next day when you see everybody. So at dinner later on that night, they all gathered together at the Airbnb for this really huge catered dinner event that Dolores is hosting. And Teresa does show up with Louis. And when she shows up, she completely stays away from Margaret. The two avoid each other completely. When everybody's sitting at the table, they're having a very awkward, silent dinner. And finally, halfway through, Teresa decides to apologize to everyone. So she says, can I get everybody's attention, please? I just want to say that I'm really sorry for how I acted. I feel like I was provoked, but I am sorry for how I acted, so on and so forth. And so Margaret, which I didn't agree with Margaret doing this at all. Margaret is like talking under her breath to the people around her, saying how it's not a real apology. She's just making up excuses, and Stacy or Tracy, whatever her name is, she's, joining in with Margaret, like, yeah, this is not a real apology, agreeing with Margaret. I don't think that Margaret right there showed how immature she was, because if she knows anything about Teresa, she would know that this is big for Teresa, because Teresa is not someone that can easily say she's sorry, especially to like a group of people. So Joe Gorga and Melissa or someone else, but Joe Gorga was like, Margaret just needs to take this apology and run with it and just, let it die down, because, we're all over it. So she just needs to accept this apology, because this is huge for Teresa. This is not really, it's not easy for her to do something like this. So Jennifer can overhear Margaret muttering under her breath about how it's not a real apology. And so Jennifer says to Teresa, she doesn't accept your apology because she thinks it's not real or she thinks it's not genuine. And Teresa said, I'm not apologizing to her. I'm apologizing to everybody else. So then that starts. And I'm like, okay, Jennifer, that's also immature of you to do. If you hear Margaret muttering under her breath how she's not accepting Teresa's apology or she's criticizing Teresa's apology, girl, it is not your place to go and tell Teresa what Margaret said. That's so immature and stupid. Like, why do you want to get things riled up all over again? So, of course, Teresa gets riled up because she has no understanding of self-control. So she gets all riled up again, and she starts making fun of, or she starts talking about, or they said that she was like body shaming Margaret, saying something like, well, I'm really hungry tonight because I didn't have dinner last night. Because your dinner landed all over Margaret's dress. So she was like, I didn't have any dinner last night, so I'm really hungry today, but unlike Margaret, she never misses a meal. She made sure that she ate her dinner. So she starts the body shaming again, and that gets Margaret riled up. And so the two of them are kind of going back and forth. And so then Teresa tells Melissa, you need to control your friend. You need to control your effing friend. And I'm just like, every step of the way, Teresa always has to show how completely immature she is. What does Melissa have to do with anything? So she basically kind of like threatened. They show us a flashback of, I don't know when, I don't know if it was the night before. I think it was the night before, where Teresa is threatening Melissa. Like, if you don't get your girl in check, then me and you are done. Me and you are through. What do you want her to do with Margaret? Margaret is a full-grown adult person, adult human. She can say whatever she wants to say. She can do, like, what is Melissa going to do? Melissa's going to tell Margaret, what do you, like, oh my God. I was just like, what is this? This is so stupid. So Melissa didn't say anything. because she was like, she's in the middle. She doesn't want to go against Margaret. She doesn't want to go against Teresa. So she's kind of like stuck in the middle. And this was just a way for Teresa to try to have Melissa obviously show her loyalty, and to choose her over Margaret. And that's so stupid. It is so fifth grade. And it ends with Margaret got up and left. She went back into the house. And then Teresa and Louis, they got up and they left completely, I guess, back to their hotel. So absolutely nothing was resolved. It was just absolute nonsense. So, yeah, that was the end of the episode. I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like I sound like a broken record, constantly saying over and over and over again how immature Teresa is. And Margaret herself also has, this immaturity thing where she was talking under her breath. And I understand that Margaret probably felt extremely angry still because she was the one that had to take the brunt of Teresa's anger. She was the victim of the whole thing. And I totally understand that Margaret, and then she had no outlet, because if she starts an argument with Teresa, Teresa's either going to run away, or Margaret's going to look like the bully because she's a lot more intelligent than Teresa. So she's going to absolutely kill Teresa with her vocabulary and her reasoning. So Margaret just has this anger that she doesn't know what to do with. And, the focus of your anger is sitting right there at the table with you, but you can't really go after her. And so she's muttering under her breath. And Jennifer, also extremely immature, telling Teresa what Margaret is saying. It was just so insane to me. And the whole thing was just so stupid. But that's what makes for good reunions, right? Because I think we have one more episode and then it's the reunion. And evidently in the next episode, Teresa and Margaret finally get into it. I don't know what to say about these people. And then with Teresa talking about how, Louis is a lover for life and she doesn't want anybody talking bad. I don't think Margaret was talking bad about Louis. I think Margaret was asking the questions because the stories were out there all over the internet, evidently, about Louis. So Margaret was just asking the questions. Hey, what's up with these articles coming out, where your exes are saying A, B, C, and D about you? And then Louis could have just responded and said, hey, they're not true. My exes are bitter or whatever. Just respond. Like, what is wrong with having a conversation about these articles? Why is Louis so scared to address these rumors? And should Margaret be bringing up these allegations? Someone had said, I don't know who it was, but someone had said that Margaret is just very concerned and very overprotective of Teresa. And so when she sees these articles about Louis, she kind of is worried about Teresa, worried about her safety or whatever. And that's the reason why she brings it up. No, I don't think that's it at all. I think Margaret brings them up because they're just trying to be messy. And Margaret and Teresa have had beef for a while now. So she brings up these articles because she's just trying to be messy. If she was really concerned about Teresa, she should have just pulled Teresa to the side and have a very private conversation with her and say, is everything okay? Because these, rumors are coming out about your boyfriend. I'm just checking on you to make sure you're okay. But that's not what she's doing. Anytime they're in a group setting, she brings up those articles, those rumors about Louis. And Louis, just address them. Of the fact that you keep running away from them every time Margaret brings them up, it kind of looks like you got something to hide. And then Teresa bending over backwards to try to stifle Margaret. I cannot believe this whole entire season has been about Louis and these online rumors. This whole entire season has been about that. But y'all, it is what it is. Thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far in my video, I really do appreciate it. Please don't forget to rate the video and subscribe on your way out. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.